few minutes on summing up. If I don't really, I've given 3 talks already. I think that's. I think that we've worked you very hard, and I appreciate especially the people who came from abroad, which is generally the case. And people coming abroad are much better behaved than the locals.
We don't have one to.
And I guess between the weather and the attractions of the city of Beersheba, I'm glad that everybody stayed in the room. But anyway, I really do appreciate the fact that everyone came and participated and gave very serious talks. You go to a workshop or a conference and say, all right, this one was all right, well, this was not good, whatever. And I really think that everything was here on a very high level, and very, very pleased with how it all turned out. I again want to thank Asher for all his hard work, which is not over when we leave the room, not only in terms of trying to get reimbursements, and I will apologize in advance for my university and its policy that no form that one submits for reimbursement is the correct one the first time given in. It doesn't matter what form it is, it's not the right one. They have people whose job it is to make up new forms after you've filled in the old form. So I will please indulge your patience in terms of reimbursement. Also, Asha will be working on the translating the video onto the site of the conference, which, if you don't remember it or can't act, it's from the you can find it on the program. It's on the site of the Goldstein-Goren International Center for Jewish Thought, which gives me another opportunity of thanking Professor Chaim Kreisel, the director of the center, for his support and his interest. And I hope you felt that the center got its money's worth.
So thank you in the name of the center. But of course, the person who deserves the most credit can't thank himself, and that's Professor Dan Horowitz.
Thank you. A number of people ask me about publishing. I really don't have any plans. I think that it's a large burden, and I think that the paper's all good, but some were very divergent in terms of not only the contents but also the form, and some of them are really very much work in progress and general discussions and exactly what was good for a workshop like this. And others are really papers that seem to be ready to be published tomorrow. So we will be, in a sense, publishing it by having the talks on the web. And
no, the video and voice recording will be in the will. But if anyone is interested, I also can publish in the web a paper, a text.
Right, if you have a text that you'd like to put on. Or, I don't know the progress of the journal that Moshe said that the Karaite community will be doing. Notice we're about to leave, which is why the rain. Maybe you should close the window. Yes. For those of you who think we live in the desert, please be advised. In any event, since one of the things which I've mentioned a number of times is the importance of mainstreaming, I think that to the extent that the products of this workshop can be published in mainstream, either Jewish studies or general journals, that's all to the benefit. I would ask perhaps you make a mention of the workshop when you publish it, but I think everyone has his own, her own publishing directions. One more thing that I want to add is the fact that it seems that it's true that some people I would have liked to have been here were not, for one reason or another. But it seems to me that what we did was reflective of the field, and that reflection shows that grammar and exegesis are very well represented, or very well being produced very nicely, that I don't know what the reasons are in terms of the institutional backing or people's interests, but that we certainly, with grammar and exegesis, Eastern European charism, there's more and more interest. I'm very sorry, again, Don Shapiro was not here, who's been one of the factors behind it. There are differences of opinion. We saw some comments that Henrik made and Golda, but there are plenty of texts out there. The access is not as great as it used to be, and so that's something that is being worked on from a number of different points of view, both linguistic and the historical and the content, even though certainly there's much more room for be done with the content of these works, as I mentioned when I talked about Karaite thought, and I'm doing just a small little portion of that. And I think in terms of resources, we're doing very nicely now with the bibliography, with the works which are available online, with the printing project and Karaite community. So those are, I'd say, we're doing well. In terms of where perhaps we're not doing well, I talked to Uri Ehrlich this morning, who has a project of liturgy, who says there's great amount of material in the Geniza of the Karaite liturgical text. I don't know if anybody's dealing with that.
אף אחד לא עושה כלום.
No. But so liturgy could be the wave of the future. You heard it here. You know, buy early when it's still cheap. One of the advantages sometimes of working this material is that since no one else works in it, no one can tell you you're wrong. Right? And,
Danny, that's a question on that point. We were in a number of Karaite synagogues, and we saw a Karaite Mariv. There was nothing there which one could call liturgy, original liturgy. It's all floral legging. It's all. Is there? Are there Karaite team?
Yes. Look in the Siddur. Look in the 4-volume Siddur. It comes some Shabbat morning at 6 a.m.
So we didn't see it. We didn't see a representative.
Well, it's
You are invited for our service. Every Shabbat to the synagogue. You are welcome.
Without shoes.
Actually, from the point of view of someone as observant rabbinite, the best time is usually Shavuot. This year it won't work because they're on Sunday, Shavuot. Both Shavuots are on Sunday. But Shavuot is an excellent opportunity. I brought students and others to the Karaite synagogue on Shavuot, and just as if I went to a Sephardi synagogue, I would not show up at the very beginning. So too, one does not have to show up at the very beginning, 6 a.m. in order to get flavor and more than a few hours worth of service.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Karaite thought. I don't know if I feel like I'm lonely in what I'm doing, but as I said when I talked about it, I don't get the impression that people are. This is something that people are going to. But then again, rabbinite medieval thought is disappearing. I mean, maybe when people know more about Karaite Kabbalah, so maybe that will attract more interest.
Still waiting to be discovered.
Well, it's Lutsky. I mean, some of this text have been published by Gamil. What I hope will be better text will be published by me. One of the reasons the text will be better is because I'm working with autographs. History. For some reason, as I said, very opening, somehow it seems ironic that this is no longer what interests anyone. And I think that certainly history of Eastern Europe, there's work still to be done, as I mentioned. Byzantium, maybe between Ankori and the fact that there's not much new having been discovered in the Byzantine Karaite community. Maybe there's less to do in history. Golden Age.
Marina Rusta.
Right, so Marina, and I'm sorry that she was not able to come. Literature, there is a new book on Moses Derry's poetry, but in terms of, in addition to that, the poetry, there's certainly many piyutim, both in Hebrew and in Karaim, and various dialects of the Karaite language, which again I think is almost, Henrik published in the book, The Eastern European Karaites in the Last Generations, just 2 short poems used for prayer for the holidays, but this is something that certainly could be expanded on, plus sort of, I'd say, modern Karaite belles lettres. There are some exist, nothing's been done. Drashot. We have many drashot from the early modern times from Eastern Europe. Again, some of them in vernacular, in Karaim, some in Hebrew. All these areas, seems to me, are still wide open, and if we have in this room, like almost everyone who was doing Karaite studies, except for the few people, as I said, not able to be here. Certainly, if we doubled or tripled or quadrupled the number of people in this room, we still wouldn't be able to make as much as a dent as is available in terms of the fact that there's material, there's resources, there's so much that can be done. I even mentioned halakha, which is David's been doing a lot of work with. So it seems to me the state of the field is that firm foundations have been set, but there's still a great amount of work to be done. And if anybody would like, we said round table, this is almost round.
Yeah. I just wanted to say something to echo what you're saying. When I prepared my presentation, I was kind of debating whether I wanted to present liturgy or Sidurim. In the end, I decided to talk about Sidurim, but I did find an amazing collection of liturgy at the JTS collection. And as I mentioned, some of the more later Sidurim, the printed Sidurim, do have beautiful liturgy from the same style as Kalir and Yana. You know, for each parsha, there's beautiful, beautiful liturgy that should be studied. Yeah.
Do they have their own language in the PUT as the...
I didn't really get into it. You know, it's not my field, so I don't really know. But, you know, it's really a virgin land. Yeah.
Ibn Ezra did very much like the Hebrew of the Rabbinites. I mean, the question is whether he would have liked the Karaite Hebrew.
It's like, is there a grammar, is it a Karaite grammar, is it a Karaite liturgy?
Yesterday we had 2 lectures, yours and the rabbi's. One that shows the point of view of science, and the other one, point of view of the Kehillah. You gave us your point of view as an organizer. Nobody appointed me to speak on behalf of the participants. However, I take the liberty to say a word of thanks for the hospitality, generosity. I would like to thank Daniel for his for being an energizer and for being shliach tzibur for all of us. It's not an easy thing to organize a workshop and to bring people from all around the world and from other universities. And in the beginning, I said that it looks like a promising workshop. Now we can say it was very successful in every aspect. I would like also to thank Asher. I have never met him before this workshop, and it's really a great pleasure and honor to know somebody who is so dedicated and devoted to his work, his job, and he does more than necessary. I would like to thank also Chaim Krezel for his support. Nobody is representing the academy, yet
I did go into the research authority during the week, and Asher did, so we told them. So
we are grateful that somebody supports such kind of activity. I would like also to thank Rabbi Moshe Firoz. I have never met him before, and his participation was meant a lot to us, and it was very successful. The tour yesterday and the day before were really a great experience, beside the rain, right? And I'm glad there is some kind of cooperation between the Kehila and the scholars. All in all, it was great to see old friends and new friends, and more than anything else, it's a great support to see that people are really encouraging each other, because most of the time we work in isolation. It's not a Farage word.
It's nice to be quoted.
we work most of the time in isolation, and this is a great opportunity to see we are indeed a community of scholars, though not the entire community is here, but some participated just for a few hours. Still, it gives us mental support, and it's also great to see here some representatives of the young generation. It shows this community has a future, and we have people who are well trained and that will do the job for the next generation. It was really a real majlis. We learned a lot from different fields. We learned about new questions, and it opened us new horizons. And I would like to thank you again for organizing the workshop, and hopefully we'll see each other in future workshops here or in any Karaite site, or maybe maybe in Cambridge. Who knows? Thank you.
Do I have a Karaite community?
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah, again, I'd like to echo Aaron's compliments to you and to everyone, to Usher, and this is a wonderful workshop. Just one technical thing. I was wondering if it would be nice to have a list of all the participants and their email addresses, so that we can keep the communication going.
Perhaps we have to open a group on Facebook.
Some of us don't use
I want
Facebook.
to be employed to the rest of you.
A blog. Karaite blog.
Any other comments?
I just wanted to thank the community again. It was a very big deal to me, and I think to all of us, to see modern Karaites, because when I work on 11th century grammar, I'm completely detached from what Karaism is today, and it's the first time I've ever been to a Karaite synagogue, ever talked to a Karaite Chacham, Karaites at all. So it was a very, very big deal to me, and thank you very much.
I want to say by the name of the community that the people in the synagogue, especially in Beersheba, were very, very happy and excited the idea that the scholars are coming and, to see, and they know the differences because how they live the life, and investigate the material and the books. And if you saw that in the talk in Beersheba, we discussed in English, and then one of the community said something like, now translate to Hebrew. I said to him, what they ask you already performing by nature, because they investigate the stuff from academic points of view, and you live by the way that they are investigating upon. And besides this, I got a lot of good people from the community have either called me by phone and emails and really was enjoying the visits, especially in Jerusalem and in other places. So we are thanking you very much, and you are welcome anytime, separate or as a group, to visit us in all the centers, and thank you very much.
Thank you. I see everybody's awake and alert enough to be able to say thank you, which is very nice. And I'd like to add to the conversation.
Yes, I don't want to rain on anybody's parade here, but I had a wonderful time at this
And
event.
you think that would
No,
cause us...
No, I learned a lot. It was worth every second I spent here. I apologize to the people whose lectures I may not have been 100% attentive at, or those that I unfortunately wasn't able to attend. But this was an event of the highest academic and social and level. What I'm sorry about is I'm the only person here who's not from the circle of Karaite scholars. And I'm really sorry because I look at the program and there's biblical exegesis here, there's language, there's literature, there's history, there's stuff relevant to every field in Jewish studies. And I just regret that my colleagues are not, I'm not apologizing for them, but I regret to see them, that they're not here. And I would hope that at other events, somehow there could be a bit more outreach and bring in some of those people as not necessarily as participants, but just as observers, because it would be an enlightening experience for everyone. And
I can't argue with that, but I would hope that it was less a function of the topic here and more a function of the nature of our colleagues.
Unfortunately, in any case, I would like to thank you.
גילית מקום חרפתי.
Wish you a hearty Yishar Kochaka. And to everyone here, it's been a pleasure.
The people did drop in from time to time.
Shukran.
Thank you.